I'm a second generation Indian. I was racially abused. I had to work hard. I had to get married. I had to have kids. I'm emotional, but I don't show it to people. I like to cry in my car when no one's watching.
Thank you for listening to Two Talking Arseholes. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and may deal with adult topics and adult themes.
Brownstown, we're with you when you fight. Brownstown, bark with the dogs tonight. Brownstown, Cleveland is right behind
People
People would whisper now and then about folks who hadn't fared well Balmoral. The long ago Queen, for instance. Mad with grief, she'd locked herself inside Balmoral Castle and vowed never to...
Hello! It is me, Stephen, on the 15th day of January. Av looks disgusted. And we are talking to our souls. And I am Miley Cyrus fan. New single out today as well, the other day. And over there we have...
Av, not a brownie around. Not anymore, Mr. Singh.
Not a brownie around. Not anymore, Mr. Singh. You know, that's ruined it, really, because I wanted to talk about this, and then you bring in the topical, which is, I suppose we should talk about that, because I find it fascinating. What, come back to the Brownies? They never invited me back, but I am actually quite intrigued, because I do like the Brownies. I like the cakes, I like the little children, and I mean that in a nice way, and I like Brownies.
My daughter was in the Brownies, right? And the strange thing was, she was the only Asian kid.
You're tempting me, aren't you? You're fishing me in. That's not unusual. In where? In Wolverhampton?
Yeah, exactly, in Wolverhampton. I was like...
Was that when you lived in Windsor?
Oh, Windsor. But I thought it was a bit strange. I thought, well, they call the Brownies and you haven't got any proper representation. So...
But is that what you're saying? That they're going to change the name Brownies because it's politically not correct?
They feel that it's politically not correct. But the thing is, that's my point, is that how many Asian kids or black kids are in there?
Yeah.
Right? And I don't know, and there's not many anyway.
No, I was going to say, if there was more ethnic children in the Brownies, then there wouldn't be a problem being called the Brownies. But because there's very little, then it makes it's like you're singling one person out because they're saying Brownies. But if everyone was like multicultural, it'd be bad to call them whiteys.
If it was majority Asian black kids and they're called the Brownies because of that, then you would say nowadays you can't. And
yeah.
Or if there's a bunch of white kids browning up
to get in,
then it wouldn't be right. You know?
Go up to Brown Owl and go, Mummy! No, I can't. Yeah. Is that right? That's right.
You're going to get in. You need. I
don't know.
Proper editing.
Go up to Brown Owl and go, whoo, whoo.
Yeah. Or it could be.
Can't call a brown owl.
Or it could be a bunch of white kids browning up, going, "Have you seen the poppadoms today?"
Are they called rainbows before they become brownies?
I don't.
That's your problem. They're gay, then they're minority, and then they're guides.
I thought people thought I was going to go to the Girl Guides when I was a kid, because everyone used to shout brownie at me.
But I was going to say that because I used to, when I was children's entertainer, I don't know if when I say was, I don't know if I still am. Scouts had girls in them. The Scouts were allowing girls to be Scouts. So I would assume that we should have one where everybody's welcome.
Yeah,
unlike the Brit Awards.
That's Prince Harry, that question. You know that?
What if he was a brownie?
No, that's
if he was into brownies.
Wait, well...
But you say it, and I think, well, that's all right. If he says it, then I can say it.
No, you can't say that.
What can I say?
Ask Prince Harry this question about getting rid of the brownies. Do you know what he said?
No, I don't know what he said, because I've only got to chapter 1.
He said he killed 25 of them.
You see, you can say that. You're allowed. You're quite happy sitting there to say that, and I can't say it at all. Even when I say it with love and warmth. Did you hear about the Brit Awards? That they changed. There was no gender in the Brit Awards, so it was like anybody, and they're a bit pissed this year because no female or non-binary artists have made it into the list.
I can say the same thing. I'm appalled that there's no Asian people.
How do you know none of these bands that have Asian people?
No.
Do you know the list? Do you know the list? I don't know. I don't even know the list, but I heard it and I couldn't remember any of them. Oh, Harry Styles. Harry Styles. He's Asian, isn't he?
He was a band member. Well, a band member was half Asian.
Yeah, that's all right. He probably sang a song to some people that were Asian.
He wore a sarong.
That is very, very strong indeed. But Adele won last year, and she was really a bit miffed. Well, she wasn't miffed because she's Adele, so she's fine. But she was saying that she still identifies as a woman, and she thinks it's great for women that she won the best music category.
I ain't got a problem with her being a woman. I'm more pissed off with her
Being a singer.
Cockney accent. It's like EastEnders coming on TV every time she talks.
But so you don't like her accent? That's rich. Leave it at.
Are you going to be loud in London or any areas of Asian people?
What, Cockney Asians?
They asked Keir Starmer about getting rid of brownies. You know what he said?
He said he killed 25 in Iraq.
No, he said, well, you can't wait till Rishi leaves.
I'd be sad. I'd be sad if the Brownies changed their name. I think they should just join all young people into one sort of group and call it Scouting for Girls.
Do you know why they were called the Brownies? Though? Where did that name come from?
Because they were what was her name? Continental Brown was her name, and she because Baden Powell formed the Scouts, and then Continuity Brown. I don't know what her name was.
Someone's name.
I'm making this up. I have no idea, but I assume so. Have you ever had a brownie with stuff in it?
I think that's a loaded question, Steve, isn't it?
It was a loaded brownie, I'll tell you. Ingesting is much better. It takes a while, but when it hits. Do you want to talk? Do you want to talk about your best mate?
Old Ginge.
I had frostbite on my todger. That's an overshare. Do you know as well, though, I was listening to him on Stephen Colbert, and he said that, because Stephen Colbert was saying, well, how did you know you got frostbite? And he said, actually, it's called frostnip. It wasn't frostbite, it was frostnip he got. And he said he didn't realise for 2 weeks afterwards. And he said, well, how? He said, well, everything was working. And that went down a bit, so it happens because a lady made him a cock cushion to keep your privates warm, because he says everything, he took everything, but he didn't think about that. So you need to keep that area warm because your skin shouldn't be close to another bit of I don't know what it is. But he says when they sweat, because they're walking like quite quickly, the sweat freezes on them.
Yeah.
So it's like 35 degrees below.
Is it frostbite when you can lose your toes?
Cock.
What was I going to say?
Toes.
He probably went to Arctic. When he came back, he goes, oh, I've got a black man's cock.
You can go to the Arctic to get one of them. No, there seems to be a lot of people getting very cross about it, and I find it hilarious.
I'm not getting cross about it.
I'm happy if you're fed up about it. I know you don't care, but I only brought the book. I'm not going to read it. I just want to buy it to support him.
How much did you support him with, Steve? Exactly how much is the book?
£14 on the nose, plus me 10% discount.
Rip off.
But it sold 400,000 in the first day, which, according to Richard Osman, qualifies it. If he sold 400,000 in a year, it would qualify him for being in the top 10 authors of the year. But he sold 400,000 in a day.
He was not the author, was he?
Well, he seems to think he was.
I thought he had a ghostwriter.
Oh, he probably had a ghost writer, but he seems to think that everything he says in the book is exactly what he wanted to say in the book. I mean, I'm sure there's a bit of ands and T's and crosses out. But he comes across as very eloquent when he was on Colbert. And he's quite funny. He is quite funny for a ginger.
Ginger Whinger.
He is a whinger.
That is a disgrace.
Hey, do you know what? I've got 3 minutes of what we did on Harry last week, and I need to play it. The best thing is your face. At one point, you yawn while I'm talking, which, to be fair, is like I am talking a lot in this. It's more me, and then you look at me when I say something inappropriate, and it is quite funny. Yeah, but right. I've worked out that Prince Harry, sir, is a fucking genius, right? Because he has laid bare his life. He has told everything, supposedly.
No,
right?
he hasn't.
But I think I think that's why. Because the Daily Mail was saying, spare us on their front page the other day when the leak came out. Spare us from this rubbish, right? Whatever. And then they go and print 14 pages about Prince Harry. So what his reason was, I don't know, because I don't know him, nor does anybody else. So I don't know why anyone can say anything. But if he has just told everybody his life story, then the press have got nothing to write about him, and then he can just carry on and live his life. And they've got nothing to write on him because it's all out there. No one would be interested.
But I don't. Who cares about him saying I had to buy my own furniture from IKEA?
I think that's nice because that means he's in touch with the people. He obviously didn't.
He was
build it
moaning
himself.
that he had to buy it from IKEA.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah, but he's the prince. His dad's the king, for goodness sake.
Oh, twats, as far as I'm concerned.
But some are more twats than the other. But I do understand this institution business now. I never did before. But it's like they have to protect what is theirs. And with Harry and Meghan leaving it and still maintaining some I think more people are more interested in Harry and Meghan, judging by the coverage they get in the papers. They seem to think they can make money off them. So, fair play. I don't have a problem. I took cocaine once, I'm going to be honest. And I had sex with an older woman, first time. I'm not saying I was older than her the second time, but I'm not a prince, but my dad did marry a horse. So, I can see there's a lot in common we have.
You ginger.
Well, I'm not forceful, if that's what you're saying.
Do you know what made me laugh?
Can't be one of my jokes.
Definitely not.
But no, look, let me talk about my tweet, because I tweeted because I was a bit upset. I posted on January 11th. Harry called Dan Wootton a sad little man. So I hashtagged it, sad little man. And I put, I am of the opinion that Harry and his family are the good guys when Andrew Pierce, Piers Morgan, Jeremy Clarkson, Nigel Farage, Kelvin Mackenzie, Dan Wootton, Julia Hartley-Brewer, Katie Hopkins, Sophie Cochrane, and the Daily Mail continue to pile on the hate. And I have had the most response to any of my tweets. 75,000 people have seen it. 1,532 have liked it. And it's been retweeted 246 times. And I think that's mainly because people hate Dan Wootton, though, I'll be honest.
Probably.
Because you must watch him on GB News when you have your GB News binge.
I haven't watched it for a while, Steve, to be honest with you.
I thought you said I haven't watched it for a while. You might get frostnip for that.
I'm a very private person, Steve. I wouldn't be talking about these things.
Because there is a chance that you might write a book called Spare Us. It won't tell us anything about you, Av. Will it? Because you can't share your personal life.
Plenty
I
of
went to
stuff.
school for 12 years, then I went to a big school, then I got a job, and now I do some comedian stuff. 478 pages.
I don't. Do you know something? My story's probably been told that many times anyway. I'm a second generation Indian. I was racially abused. I had to work hard. I had to cry. I had to get married. I had to have kids. I'm emotional, but I don't show it to people. I like to cry in my car when no one's watching. I don't want to be saying all this stuff. That's what it sounds like. Everyone saying, "Look at me. I've had a hard life." There's a lot of people out there who have hard lives, and just get on with it. And that's it. End of.
No, but right, okay. Oh, hold on though. Are you saying that people who've had hard lives have the same attention that Prince Harry gets?
No. What I'm saying Prince Harry, he had some hard moments in life. When someone passes away and you're in the public eye, I give you that, right? But has he had a hard life? Does he have to worry about putting the heating on? Where he's going to get food from?
No. I think he's worried. I think he was worried about the safety of his family. I think that's his main concern. And the firm weren't allowing them to have the safety, so he removed them from that thing.
I mean, how much money has he got? He can pay for his own security if he wants it. If he's that worried about.
But that's fine. But I'm happy for him to pay for his own security. But don't moan about him doing a Netflix documentary or selling a book.
I'm not.
No, I'm not saying you are. But I mean, people, if he has to pay for his own security, he's got to earn money, and the best way for him to earn money is to do what he's doing.
I haven't got any sympathy for him or the royal family. You know, people's bills are going up. People can't pay for food. I'm more concerned about that than
Well, you see, I was going to agree with you then, but I honestly do care more about a frost-nipped nudger than me being able to afford to pay my electric bill.
I don't care about your penis. I don't think Meghan does, to be honest with you.
Whoa! Right, I honestly believe, I hope to God, in 4 years' time, and there's a divorce, that I'm going to look so stupid. I honestly believe that they are really happy together, and I really do believe it's a love story. But I could be wrong. I just hate the way people just pile on, and they know nothing. I know nothing, but, I've listened to 2 of his interviews, and he comes across now as a person who's in a better place than he was before, and that's all he's trying to do. He's just trying to be in a better place and live a better life for himself and his family. That's what it looks like to me.
I'm happy for him to do that.
It's not his fault that everyone's like throwing him in the newspapers. He's all right in my book, and I hate Dan Wootton. That's what I wanted to tell you about Dan Wootton, right? Do you know why he's a twat?
Why?
He set up his picture of laying the flowers for the Queen. This is what he put, right? I wanted to return to Buckingham Palace today for some quiet reflection and lay my own tribute. Crowds, young, old, from all ethnicities and backgrounds. Truly the best of British, doing her justice, right? And he puts his hands together and he walks away. So this is how the video starts. He's standing in front of the palace gates with some flowers in his hand. And he walks towards the gates, he kneels down and he lays the flowers reverently. He takes 2 steps back, puts his fingers together like in a moment of reflection, bows his head, and then turns and walks away. Sweet, that, isn't it? When the Queen died, he went and laid some flowers. So, right, he got a lot of stick for that because people were saying that he had a go at Harry for doing the same thing. When Harry laid some flowers, and went, how lucky that a photographer happened to be here to capture this deeply personal moment. He set up his picture of laying the flowers for the Queen. There was actually somebody there who saw him do that video. His friend videoed it. This guy put, hi Dan, I was beside you there today. Nothing says quiet reflection like doing 4 takes of that video, then directing your friend to make sure you got the shot of me praying after I lay the flowers and checking the video after each shot. So that's why he's a twat. I really don't like him.
That's
funny.
And
I know, and he's a Kiwi. He's a Kiwi. My mum was quarter Maori. I've got 18% Polynesian in me, Maori. So I'm a big fan of the Kiwis, but not him. But they've all been at it. They've all been having a go. Even you had a go about him killing brownies.
That's a joke. It's a joke.
That's a joke. It's not for their parents.
Steve, you know when you propose to your wife, did you go down on one knee and say, "Will you marry me?"
No, I got her pregnant first. Av's full of the fun today. Actually, he said, "Let's talk about the gym because I get pissed off after going to the gym." But he's doing good gags. Will you marry me? I think that's slightly racist, but I don't know where.
Is it?
But I think it's taking the Mary's name in vain, isn't it?
You need to learn the haka, don't you?
I've tried. I can do it. I can do the look. Because I got the nose and the lips. But apparently that's like, you shouldn't do it unless you really... Oh, I can do it. I'm all right. But apparently the New Zealanders shouldn't do it because it's like appropriation again. I read something in The Guardian, so it must be true.
So you mean like when the All Blacks...
Yeah, when they're not all black. So that means they shouldn't be called brownies either.
That's an interesting one, isn't it?
They're going to change their name. Because, fucking Jim, your mate was showing you. Jim Davison was talking about the French team. It's like, if you're born in New Zealand, it doesn't matter if you're born in New Zealand and you're not of Maori heritage. Although the Maori heritage is a big thing in New Zealand. Big thing. I could get special money if I wanted to. I could apply for special money.
Right.
Because I've got Maori blood.
The thing is, it's different here because Maoris, when you talk about Maori culture, it's very different, isn't it? It's a totally different culture. When we talk about English British culture, it ties in with European culture. Yeah, I don't think it runs as deep because what's happened with English culture is that it was kind of when the Romans came over and the Vikings came over, that culture became something else.
Yeah,
it's not. You can't think of it when you think of English culture. What you think about is
it's all a mixture, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, Maori culture has a very specific history and unique to that area.
My tribe, which I can't remember the name of, where I come from, I have the rights to fish and kill mutton birds. So there you go. No idea.
You should be proud, Steve.
I'm proud.
Get a tattoo down here.
I wanted to get one of those arm tattoos, but I don't know which one is. I don't want to get the wrong one because I feel at some point I should get a tattoo. I like the way you talk about the European because that we are like all mixture. But I think that's what Harry's doctor said when he said you got a bit of frostnip. He said, "Why was it?" He said, "Well, European in the snow." Let's hope that this year brings us lots of interesting and good stuff. I'm looking forward to... I'm going to see the Book of Mormon in April, so I'm looking forward to that. So that's the only thing I've got ahead of me. Av's got a gig, which is good, because I said he would. Oh. So we'll see you next week when we talk again from our souls.
Brownstown, Cleveland is right behind you.
Hey, thanks for listening to the show. We hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe and share this because it will help us. And don't forget to tune in next week, 8 p.m. Mondays. Ta-ra! So